Please subscribe and you can download this code from description below. In this tutorial, we will explore the common Python error Errno 13 permission denied and learn how to handle it. This error occurs when your Python script tries to access a file or directory for which it lacks the necessary permissions. We will discuss the possible reasons for this error and demonstrate how to handle it with code examples. There are several common scenarios in which you might encounter this error. File access: your Python script is trying to read, write, or execute a file for which it doesn't have the necessary permissions. Directory access: your script is attempting to create, remove, or modify a directory without sufficient permissions. Operating system restrictions: the operating system itself might prevent your script from accessing certain files or directories due to security restrictions. Running as administrator: on Windows, running your Python script without administrator privileges can result in this error when trying to access certain system files. Now, let's see how to handle this error with code examples. Before attempting any operations on a file or directory, it's a good practice to check if your script has the necessary permissions. You can use the OS module to check permissions. In this tutorial, we'll explore the common Python error Errno 13 permission denied and discuss what causes it and how to resolve it. This error occurs when your Python script or application attempts to perform an operation that requires certain permissions, but it does not have the necessary privileges to do so. This error typically occurs in the context of file and directory operations, such as reading, writing, or executing files. Some common scenarios that trigger this error include: file read/write, when your Python script tries to read from or write to a file or directory without the necessary permissions. File deletion, attempting to delete a file or directory without proper permissions. File execution, trying to execute a script or program without the execute permission. Directory creation, creating a directory in a location where your script lacks the permissions. Accessing system resources, accessing system-level resources, example hardware, network, etc., without proper authorization. To resolve the Errno 13 permission denied error, you need to grant your Python script the necessary permissions to perform the operation. Here are some common ways to do this. Before performing any operation, make sure you have the correct path to the file or directory you intend to work with. Also, check the file's permissions to ensure that your script has the required access. You can use the OS module to check and modify file and directory permissions. For example, on Windows, running your script as an administrator may grant the necessary permissions. Right-click your Python script and select Run as Administrator. On Unix-like systems, Linux, Mac OS, you can use the sudo command to run your script as a super user, which has elevated privileges. Be cautious when using sudo as it grants your script extensive system access. You can change the ownership of a file or directory to your user account. This is useful when you have the necessary permissions but not ownership. If the file or directory you're trying to access is in a location where your script doesn't have permissions, you can choose to work in a different directory where you have the necessary access rights. In some cases, the system's security policies might be preventing your script from accessing certain resources. You may need to modify these policies or contact your system administrator for assistance. The Errno 13 permission denied error in Python often arises when your script lacks the necessary permissions for a specific operation. By following the steps outlined in this tutorial, you can diagnose the issue and apply the appropriate solutions to resolve the error and ensure your script can perform the required actions without any permission-related problems. ChatGPT